The next item is,
We want to wait for Toby.
oh, I'm sorry.
Just scared of-
It's like that P game with the three things and you go like this. I saw a bunch of movement. I thought it was. Okay. The next item is Deb here?
She's on the phone.
Oh, okay. So we just don't see her.
Right, when she goes over the, COVID update, she wanted me to project her
Yeah.
Oh,
presentation, so I'll be clicking as she's talking.
okay, gotcha. All right. So, next item is the personnel report.
I move to approve the March 23, 2020 personnel report.
Moved in second, all those in favor? 7-0.
Just as point of information, the personnel report as printed here has the wrong date.
That's-
Image.
Can you change that back?
We will get that fixed.
Okay, next item is the COVID-19 school closing update. So, Deb?
Well, good evening, and I'm totally blind here at this point. So I'm hoping that Matt has what I have prepared for you, projected for you.
He does.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the second slide, Matt.
Okay,
And just as an overview, you're all aware that Governor Kelly provided an executive order on March 17th that in essence closed schools to instruction as we know it through the end of May. Schools were directed at that time to deeply clean buildings. This actually had started in our district prior to Governor Kelly's executive order. Once the buildings were cleaned, schools would be allowed to continue education with small groups of students in a 9-to-1 ratio. Must be stable groups. In other words, students can't move back and forth between groups. No group lunches, different arrival and dismissal times. Buses would have to have the same ratio, and groups are never to miss. So basically, those were the rules that we were provided that said this is how we could do face-to-face instruction. The state has offered 3 different ways for us to do instruction continuing on. One is this type of small face-to-face instruction, one is packet instruction, and one is a more online or virtual experience for students. Our directives are to come up with that plan. As a part of the COVID-19 crisis that we're currently in, I did institute our incident command system. We have daily conference calls I do with KSCE. I have a daily conference call with our ISCF team and daily conference calls with the administrative team. Some of those people are on 2 out of the 3 calls, and others are not. Also in communication with the health department and emergency management for Howard County. As a result of the IPS, we have determined there are 4 objectives. First one is to reduce exposure to and the spread of the COVID-19, to meet the educational needs of our students and our district, collaborate with our community on resources, provide food, breakfast and lunch, and daycare. So those became the 4 objectives that we have been working from. We developed 8 areas of emphasis within those 4 objectives. You can see them on the screen. I'm not going to read every one of them to you, We did begin to provide meals for students today, and I'll get into that a little bit more later. Still working through childcare. And again, all of these I'll talk about here shortly. We have different assignments as part of the ITF. I'm the incident commander, and Reagan acts as the planning section chief. Jade is the operations section chief. Becky Hawk handles logistics. Nora Miller is the liaison officer. Sam is our public information officer. She's been working overtime. And our safety officer is Chris Schaefer. And then we have different persons assigned to our 8 emphasis areas, and you can again see those on the screen there for you. And I'm going to the next one. So for continuing education, Sheila is on the line if she needs to answer any questions, but they put together the Continuous Learning Task Force guidance that came out last week on Thursday, I believe. That group met today virtually, or a planning team for they met today, and then the virtual for that group will continue daily at least through this week. Teachers are meeting virtually throughout this week to plan for instruction, and we're shooting for the state date of March 30th for us to begin that instructional process. Our professional learning will be planned to meet the learning needs of teachers. We know that we have some teachers that may need additional assistance in working in an online environment, others that will be very comfortable in that environment, and providing teachers with the support that they need there. Under facilities, we have cleaned and sanitized our buildings and plans for staff to enter the building on Tuesday to retrieve personal items and teaching materials. The plans for that and how that's going to work were developed with Chris Schaefer, keeping in mind the health department recommendations and CDC recommendations for the number of people that can be in a location at a time. It is the recommendation that people stay 6 feet apart and that there are not more than 10 people in an enclosed area at a time. So in a hallway, for example, of classrooms, there could be a teacher in each classroom, and in fact, there could be a group of up to 10 in each classroom. However, we have aligned this so that we can keep track of how many people are in a section of the building and what doors and things that they enter, so that we can again provide for the cleaning of those spaces when people leave. A plan has been developed also then for students to be allowed to enter the building and pick up their personal items. That has not been shared yet, but again, it is following the guidelines by state and federal sources. Limit of 10 per room and 6-foot separation. Hand sanitizers are in each room and are filled, and we have set all for energy efficiency. So we're not heating and cooling as if the building was full. We are heating and cooling as if the building were empty. For food service, Elaine did apply for the summer food program. She has secured employees to prepare and distribute meals. Communication has been with parents, let them know where to pick up, what time, all of those kinds of things. We have responded to many questions about the program, what it means, and again, for the board, any child ages 1 to 18, whether or not they normally receive free or reduced meals, is eligible to participate in this program. All they have to do is show up and collect their food. The children do have to be present. The parent cannot pick that up for the child. The child has to be present. So today we served approximately 770 grab-and-go breakfast and lunches for a total of approximately 1,500 meals. And we are investigating assisting parents who are not able to come and pick up meals. There are several parents that either work through the time when we are open for distribution, or that do not have transportation available to them. So we are looking towards amending our waiver request or summer food program application so that we can allow for delivery. We're still working with the state on that. Here's a chart that shows the actual meal distribution for today by school. So you can see those figures there. And for health, Karen Lehman is in charge of this area, this area, and she is meeting daily starting this week with the nurses. The medications that we have stored in our buildings will be returned to students tomorrow. These would be medications that come with a prescription. Over-the-counter medications will be returned when the students come to pick up the rest of their items. There are just too many over-the-counter medications to contact all of the parents that have provided that. Again, we are communicating updates regarding the CDC and KDHE changes as they occur to the ICS team and others to ensure that we are taking appropriate precautions regarding the health and welfare of our students and our staff. Latchkey, as I said, we are continuing the discussion of reopening Latchkey for the community. Currently, daycare is seen as an essential service and therefore is allowed to continue operations in school buildings as long as they already have a license, which we do in 4 buildings. All conditions would need to be met. So again, 10 people in a room, must be a stable group, they're congregating in the hallways, so lunch, staggered arrival and dismissal times, and can never mix the members of a group. So if a child care latchkey person is in charge of 9 other children, then those 9 children would have to stay together. They couldn't add other kids into that group or mix the groups in any way. And that's to ensure that if there was a case of COVID-19, we're limiting the number of people that would have been exposed into that small group. A waiver is required for us not to have to count the 1,116 hours that we are required to meet educationally. We have to submit that by April 8th to KSCB. It is a waiver for hours that we are not in session from today until the end of our school year. We have to provide the state with some assurances. One, that we have a continuous learning plan. Sheila and the teachers are working on the aspects of that plan that are specific to education in pre-K-12. We have to pay all of our current hourly employees during the balance of the 2019-20 school year. We have to submit our plan, as I said, by April 8th, and so the State Board of Education can approve them at their April 13th meeting. We need to continue to enroll new students, and we need to apply a health and safety plan policy that limits the opportunity for students, staff, and families to be exposed. So again, we have to ensure that we are following the CDC and KDHE guidelines as it relates to reducing exposure and preventing spread. So based on that timeline, I'm going to request that the board have a board meeting on April 6th to approve the district's plan. And I know that you are discussing board meeting dates as the next item. So keep that in mind as you go to that discussion item. And I'd be happy to answer whatever questions I might be able to answer at this time. And I also have Sheila and Brenda on this call that can also address questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
I just have one question, Deb. If Harvey County were to issue a shelter in place or shelter at home order, does this change any of our plan?
Yes, it would, some degree, because of the, requirements, you would have to follow what the health department says. Now, food service is an essential service, so they would need to continue to work. Our latchkey would also be considered an essential service if we have it up and running at the time that the order would be made. So they would be allowed to continue operations unless the health department provided different guidelines.
Deb, are we leaning towards opening latchkey back up?
Yes, we are, because of the need in our community. We have not formally made that decision yet. We believe we have enough workers that would be available to work that, and we are licensed, so we would give that ability to the parents that have already been using that, as well as opening it up for first responders and other essential services in our community.
Deb, when you say that we have employees that are available, does that mean that they are comfortable doing that job in this situation?
When we last checked with them, that was true. I can't answer specifically for tonight, but I can say that we would be working with our staff on that. And again, there are no, as of 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock this afternoon at any rate, there were no cases in Harvey County. And again, that's all subject to change. You've all watched the news, you've all seen how quickly this virus has spread and how quickly decisions are being made on a county and state level that will impact what we can do. I mean, last week on Thursday, no, this is Monday. So a week ago, when we started that discussion, we were planning or thinking that it would be longer instruction, and that has all changed in this week since.
Deb, what is our plan for students who do not have internet access at their home?
Again, we are working on that. I don't know how, ma'am, to let Brenda respond, but we are working with local vendors to find an answer to that. So that would be one thing. Working with internet providers to put together the possibility of packets and other non-virtual aspects of education that we can get out to kids.
Deb, if you want to mute your phone, I'll put Brenda on the speakers.
Okay.
Brenda, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. So one of their questions was, how do we ensure that those that don't have technology or internet access are given access to that?
Resources have already been shared with staff. We will also share them with parents of what options are out there, and then we will continue to seek out other options for families that none of those work.
Are we going to have these things in place by the time we start instruction? Because I know, at least my personal experience, we're looking at changing our internet provider because we live out in the country, and that takes about 2 weeks for them to get set up for us.
All right, Deb, are you there?
again, we are working,
I think we need
the
Brenda's
plan
little sheet.
is for us to have our details in place by next week on Monday. Now, part of what next week will look like, although we're saying instruction time, part of that will be for teachers to make connections with students, and so it will be really less instruction for some students in particular, and more making those connections with the students and the families. And Sheila is also on, if you want to address how are we going to ensure that we can move forward with instruction next week.
Sheila, did you hear Deb's question? I'm not sure about what's connected to what.
Sheila, can you unmute?
She's breathing.
Yes, I'm here. Matt,
I don't think you heard Deb's question.
yeah, could somebody repeat it again for me, please?
Deb, could you repeat the question?
Sheila, can you tell them what our plans are for students who work next week? Should we not be going to have next week for students? What will next week look like instruction?
All right, Matt, I'll see if I can answer this if you can hear me.
Yes.
So the team met this morning and we are working on
There's a delay. Okay, we are working on plans and primarily it will be online.
Yeah, no, just talk through it.
Keep going, we're with you.
Okay, good. The other part we are working on though is how to get print materials to students. And teachers are working on that. It might even include sending home textbooks that students have in the classrooms, so they will have that available to use along with communicating by email, text, phone call.
Okay.
The other part I might add is we did send out an additional survey today, and I'm looking at the results right now from parents as far as their learning preferences. We're going to use that data as well, and I can see that we already have 250 responses from families.
sorry, I forgot. As far as I know, everything went, pretty smoothly today. It is going to be a process as we, figure out exactly what we need to do. I think our biggest, problem is with the out that, to prevent families that cannot come and pick them up. Those that could come and pick up, I think good. Really need to get that information out, and look for ways that we can, mitigate that. We've had some people who got volunteers, deliver meals, some of those kinds of things. So we're just trying to figure that out. And again, we still have to follow the federal guidelines. It's not like we can just, not do that. We have to allow a waiver to a waiver, if you will.
I know it's uncharted territory and people are doing things they haven't done before, but I also know there was some people talking about waiting for a long time and maybe being redirected to different facilities. One facility ran out maybe. I was just wondering if we were making any adjustments for that.
Well, I know that I was really quickly with Elaine said that there were things that happened that will change the process for tomorrow.
Okay.
But we don't, since we weren't people to sign up and say, yes, I'm coming to pick up 5 lunches and I'm going to the same location to pick those up. We don't have a way of knowing that. Because we had 20 people show up today and been prepared for 1,500 people. So it will take a little bit to get it all worked out and for it to settle into normal.
Anybody else have any questions?
No questions. I just want to extend a giant thank you to our staff across the board. Clearly, we're all dealing with just craziness right now that we've never dealt with before. And I applaud the professionalism that everyone's shown and just the pure adaptability, willing to go after it and smile through it, even though this hasn't been real fun for any of us. But thank you. Really appreciate it.
Ditto, and I would say for the benefit of the board, in our house, we're watching 3 districts navigate this, and everybody's guessing, and kind of will be, every district, every area is gonna be adjusting on a day-by-day basis, and the reality of plans changing suddenly within a couple of days in ways that we don't know is just almost terrifying. That's okay. She was hot. Is she okay?
You can see her nodding along with the feedback.
Does she have a
too.
fever?
Wait, get help.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The next item is board meeting dates, and I had requested this in light of what we're going through. I just wanted to kind of throw it out on the table. We wanted to go twice a month. We want to be more frequent. I talked to Toby a little bit about even we want to have a minority group of 3 of us meet with them more periodically than maybe once a week or something. I'm just, because I want to make sure the flow of information is going good. I also want to know, I also want us to be able to support the district. It's, as we said, things change sometimes hourly. It's just amazing. And we're asking people to deal with things that no one has ever even thought of, and all the crazy planning and contingencies that we do. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out, and if anybody's got any ideas on what direction they'd like to go as far as meeting schedules.
I think the biggest struggle we're going to run into is we don't know what tomorrow's recommendations are going to be, and we can set meeting dates. But I mean, today Sedgwick County recommended that they move forward with shelter in place, and so we'll see if that if the health department also agrees with that. And from their meeting, it sounded like they were gonna recommend to their adjacent counties that they follow suit to stop the spread as well. So that could very well mean Harvey County follows suit very soon. And what does that look like for a board meeting? I understand we are considered essential, but at what point do we cut off our work as, is this really essential? Does it have, do we need to meet to do this, or can it wait until it's done? I know there are things we will have to, but how much more exposure do we all want to? Obviously, April 6th is gonna have to happen to get that approved.
Well, I think we need to come up with some kind of plan. If there is, like Sedgwick County did today, Lyon County just did it not that long ago during this meeting to stay at home.
But if we, sorry,
Sedgwick County, one of their exceptions is governing bodies are allowed to meet to take action and do this sorts of things, which I think we saw tonight. We'll have to meet April 6th to take action. Obviously, a lot of this work will not need board approval, but likely if it does, it will need to happen sooner rather than later.
I think it would make sense to add April 6th, continue our normal meetings, and then appoint a committee of the board to probably touch base with Deb on a weekly basis, whether it's virtually or in person, however that needs to work. That will, even if we go to shelter in place, having a committee of 3 from the board will allow us to meet with Deb and get information virtually without breaking the open meetings act. So that'll give us a little more flexibility, and if we get to a point where we have to call a special meeting of the board, we can do that on recommendation.
I was gonna ask, Deb, is it 48 hours that we have to call a special meeting if we need to do something extra fast, or can we waive it, or what is it? I can't remember the rules.
You can waive the 48 hours, everybody just has to sign off that they are, waiving the 48-hour notice. Joni usually, prepares the resolution for that.
So there's a 2 weeks.
But you're not, at this time, knowing that things could change at a moment's notice, you're not saying make any changes to our currently scheduled meetings once a month, correct? Unless we're told we need to do that. Am I understanding?
Well, I'm looking for suggestions. Deb, do you have any suggestions? Would you want us to go to 2 regularly scheduled meetings at this point, or what is your thoughts?
Well, again, not knowing exactly what happened tomorrow, I would say that if you were to do on April 6th, we would meet again the next week on April 13th.
Okay,
That would provide 2 meetings back to back. And then we can decide, I mean, I think looking out, we'll have a much better idea of what is
Okay.
going to be needed.
so April 6th, would that be a special meeting then?
Yes, that would be a special meeting.
Okay.
That's 2 weeks away. I still like your idea, Matt, of appointing a committee of the board to touch base with.
With you.
Yeah, hopefully, Deb, it wouldn't be too much additional on your plate to sort of add us. If you got a list of sort of conference calls that you did through the course of the day, the administrative team, and to add a similar call with a committee of the board that gets an update on this, and we can decide whether or not we want to call a special meeting if it comes to that. Would that make sense to add on to that list?
Perfect, we could do that, sure.
Okay. So Toby, since you, would you want to do that?
Happy to, yeah.
Jen? Okay. So the 3 of us, if that's okay with the board?
Yeah.
That's
I'm sorry,
Toby, Matt, who?
And Jennifer?
Jennifer?
Okay, great.
So the officers and the teacher. The officer and the gentleman?
Use most. Okay, So, and as far as the, we can go ahead and set the special meeting then for April 6th, is that right?
Yes, April 6th.
Okay.
Does that require a motion?
Does that require a motion?
Yes, it does.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor? 7-0 for the special meeting on April 6th. 7 PM, right, Deb?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else on this? Anything? Okay. All right. Last item is adjournment. Deb, I just wanted to, before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you. You're doing a great job from your bunker in South Newton. Oh, I got a cough out of it. But that's not a Corona cough. I'll send the boys over with Corona beer for Joe. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. With that, anybody, any other comments? Anybody? Anything else?
I just echo what everyone else said, a big, huge thank you to everyone that's coming together and trying to do what we need to do in order to continue the education and keep everybody safe and healthy.
And we're all way more thankful for teachers after spending isolated time with our children. I think we can all agree to that.
Especially the teenagers.
Oh. Don't get me started. Okay. Okay, I'll take a motion.
I move to adjourn.
Second. Move to second. All in favor? 7-0. Okay, thank you.
Stay healthy.
Night all.